Good afternoon, everyone. I'm back again with Literacy B, that is part of SST P3. So today I'm going to be taking you through what we call economic activities. Economic activities. Okay, economic activities. First of all, we need to understand what does the word economic means. Economic is something dealing with money. It's something dealing with money. Then activities are those things that we do. Activities are things that people do. They do it with their hands and many others. So, what are economic activities now? Economic activities are the work. Economic activities are the work people do to get money. Economic activities are the work people do to get money. So we're saying economic activities are the work people do to get money. Economic activities are the work that people do to get money, or they can do it to earn a living. For example, we have so many things that people do to earn a living. There are so many things that people do to get money. What are those things that people do to get money? Examples of economic activities. Examples of economic activities or the work that people do to get money. What we are going to look at what we call the first economic activity, that is called brick making. We have what we call brick making. That is the making of bricks. You find people getting clay, people get soil. They start mixing them with water. Then they make something that is a brick. For example, they make the brick to build a house. People buy them and they get money and many others. Then we have another economic activity that is called pottery. Another economic activity called what? Pottery. Pottery is the making of pots. We have pottery, that is the making of pots. And then we have another one called teaching. Another economic activity called the teaching. For example, people go to school, and what is teaching? First of all, teaching, that is the act of imparting knowledge into someone. The act of imparting knowledge into someone. So teaching is not only done at school, even at home, by the way. People do teach. Right now, people are having what you call homeschooling. You have someone who is teaching you at home, mom is teaching you at home, and many others. So teaching is the imparting of knowledge into someone, knowledge and skills. And then we have another economic activity called fishing. Another economic activity called fishing. Fishing, that is the catching of fish. Fishing is the catching of fish from a lake, from a river, from water bodies, swamps, and many others. So another one, people can get fish because they want to eat it as food, but mainly we are talking about the things that people do to get what? Money. So people go to fish because they want to sell them and get what? Money. So we have another one called the weaving. Another economic activity called the weaving. Weaving, that is the making of things or making of crafts. For example, baskets. People weave baskets. People weave so many things. People weave mats. People weave ropes. People weave doormats. People weave tablecloths. People weave stools. People weave hats, and many others. I'm not talking about the hats that we live in. The hats that people wear, put in their heads. Sorry. And then we have another one, another economic activity called carpentry. Carpentry. Another economic activity called carpentry. Carpentry, that is the making. Carpentry is the making of things out of wood, or the making of furniture. Making of things out of wood or making of furniture. For example, the table, the doors, the beds, and many others. So that is called carpentry. And then we have another economic activity called tailoring. Another economic activity called tailoring. Tailoring, that is the making of clothes. Making of clothes by a seamstress. Anyone who wants to make a cloth, you want to become a designer, you become what you call a seamstress. You make a cloth, you design it in the way that you want, you use the sewing machine, and then you make your cloth. That is called tailoring. People do tailoring because they want to get money. The clothes that they make, they sell them and get what? Money. And then we have another economic activity called basketry. Basketry. We have another economic activity called basketry. Sorry. Basketry. Basketry, that is the act of making baskets. The act of making baskets. So people weave baskets is also under weaving. People weave baskets, but only basket is called basketry. But when you talk about weaving, we're talking about something as a whole. For example, baskets, mats, ropes, doormats, and many others. That is called weaving. And when you talk about basketry, you're talking about only the making of baskets. Thank you very much. Then we have another economic activity called smithing. Another economic activity called smithing. Smithing is the act of making things out of iron. The act of making things out of iron. Iron, those are something like metals, something that is metallic. For example, we have the iron sheets, we have the iron bars, we have the padlocks, we have the hoes, we have the pangas, we have the axes. All those things that are metallic, those are things that are hard, they are made out of iron. So those things are called, or the act of making those things is called smithing. And the person who does smithing is called Okay, then we have, we are saying that a person who does smithing is called a blacksmith. Person who does smithing is called a blacksmith. And then we have another one which is called farming. Farming is the act, or this is the activity people do to rear animals and grow crops. So farming is the rearing of animals and growing of crops. Growing of crops and rearing of animals, that is called farming. And then we have another activity or another economic activity called stone mining or mining. Stone mining, those people who go and then they dig out stones from the quarry. They dig out stones from the quarry. That activity is called stone mining. So people go and dig out those stones because they want to make something out of them. They can use those stones to sell them and get money. They sell them to get money for people who want to build houses, construct roads, and many others. So stone mining, that is also another economic activity. And then we also have another economic activity called sewing. Sewing is still still under what we call the tailoring. Sewing is still called, and it is still under the activity called tailoring too. So that is the act of making clothes, or the act of sewing clothes. Even you can sew any cloth, even a tablecloth, even the clothes that you're wearing right now. So that is called sewing. And then we have also another economic activity called the we can talk about also treating the sick. Treating the sick is also an economic activity because people do it to get money. For example, we have the doctors, the nurses, and many others. So all those ones are being economic activities because they want to earn a living. And so many other activities. And then we also have another activity called lumbering. Lumbering is the act of cutting down trees to get timber. The act of cutting down trees for timber, that is called lumbering. So most people who do deforestation, they cut down trees because they want to get timber so that they can sell them and get money. So people cut down trees, or people practice deforestation, people practice lumbering because they want to get what? Money. The trees that they cut down, they make timber out of them. The timber are used by people for building houses and many other things. So you find that they're selling them to get what? Money. So all these ones here are some of the economic activities. So you see the economic activities are the work that people do to get what? Money, or to earn a living. So we have other examples of economic activities: brick making, pottery. Pottery, that is the act of making pots. And then we have teaching, fishing, weaving, carpentry, tailoring, basketry, smithing. I say smithing is the act of making things out of iron, and the person who makes things out of iron is called a blacksmith. Then you have farming, stone mining, sewing, treating the sick, lumbering, and many others. So let us look at we're going to look at one by one. The first one, let us look at pottery. Let's look at pottery. Here, say pottery is the act of making pots. Pottery is the act of making pots. Making pots. Pottery is the act of making pots. And then we say, so we say that a person who makes pots, a person who makes pots is called a potter. A person who makes pots is called a potter. And pots are made out of things or the material called clay. Pots are made out of the materials called what? Clay. Pots are made from materials called the clay. And people get clay from the swamps. People get clay from the swamps. You know what a swamp is? A swamp is a waterlogged area with vegetation. A swamp is a waterlogged area with vegetation. So any place that is waterlogged, that is filled with water, and you find vegetation or plants growing there, that is called a swamp. So a swamp is a waterlogged area with vegetation. A swamp is a waterlogged area with vegetation. So we have said that pots are got from clay. Pots are got from clay, and clay is got from a swamp or from swamps. So let us look at the importance of pottery or importance of pots. Importance of pots. Importance of pots. First of all, you need to know what a pot is. Pots range from big to small. They range from big to small, or they range from small to big. That is how our pot looks like. Pots can range from big to small or from small to big. That is how a pot is. So you need to look at the importance of making pots or the importance of pots. So one, pots are used for keeping water. Pots are used for keeping drink. Pots are used for keeping drinking water. Keeping drinking water. And then pots are also used for cooking food. Pots are used for cooking food. For example, the stew like the meats, also the beans. They're really very nice. You cooking your beans and cooking your meats. The smell really remains so nice. You eat something and then you feel like, wow, I'm really eating real food. Then with the keeping of water, keeping of drinking water, there's that smell that you have, you feel, or you smell it and then you say, wow, I'm really taking real water. You feel like taking and taking over and over and over again without even stopping. So another one, pots can also be used for fetching water. Pots are used for fetching water. Fetching water, especially in villages, people use pots to fetch water. You see them carrying pots on their head, not the small pots but the big ones. So you see them carrying pots on their heads, they're going to the wells, they're going to the streams to fetch water. They keep the water in the pots. And then pots can also be used for pots can also be sold to get money. Pots can also be sold to get what? Money. So those are some of the importance of pots to people or to man. So pots are used for keeping drinking water. Pots are used for cooking food, for example, meat, beans. Pots are also used for fetching water. Pots can also be sold to get what? Money. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time.